Hello, my Raptor fans. I'm now going to take you through the press post-game conference after they lost 126 to 113. And I'm going to take you to the post-game press conference. Enjoy this.
What did you think of the attention they were giving you defensively in that first half? Kind of the whole game, but they really seemed to be trying to deny the ball to you and make it just difficult for you to get into your game.
I think you said it exactly. They tried to deny me the ball every time that I went down the floor. Obviously, they knew most of the stuff that we've been running all year. And I think that's just a part of the playoffs. We got to figure out how to make the adjustment next game and let that not be too effective.
And then that second half, the ball, you didn't score as much. Was there a decision by you guys to kind of go away from that, or would they adjust again, or the ball just not fall the way you kind of wanted?
Well, Coach wanted to use me as a screener. Also, he noticed that my man wasn't coming off of me, so he wanted me outside of the action a little bit and being a receiver. But, at the end of the day, me shooting 9 shots is not going to win a basketball game. So just got to figure out ways where I can still be effective while they're doing whatever defense.
As a team in that third quarter, what do you think was the biggest difference for you guys? Because that's where the Cavs really got that lead.
Yeah, I think them being physical defensively and offensively. Donovan Mitchell started getting hot. James Harden started getting hot, getting downhill. They made a few shots on the perimeter. And some offensive rebounding by them also. They have a pretty big lineup. They crash the glass every time somebody shot. And they were successful with it tonight.
And then why, when Harden is in that lather, is he so effective? Even, with your length, he can shoot over top.
Yeah.
What makes him so good at that?
He's a professional scorer. He's been doing it for a long time. You see that night in and night out from him. Him and his ISO, him kind of controlling the game, controlling the half court. And I'm sure that's something that he works on every single day. So, that's just a rhythm shot for him.
And in the first half, towards the end of each quarter, Cavs were able to outscore you guys in the last 3 minutes of both the first and the second. How can you focus the attention a little bit further to make sure that you don't have those lapses?
I think we just have to be more intentional. We got to know that this is a game that we have to play the full 48 minutes. We have a small margin for error. And we just got to come in more focused and learn from this game. If they outscored us in the last 3 minutes, then that's the time that we got to tighten up the most.
Brandon, what do you think the key will be for you to find yourself more opportunities on the offensive side?
Just be aggressive. I'm not worried too much about my offense. Just be aggressive. Pay attention to the defensive end. Maybe I can get some steals, some blocks, some rebounds to start my offense. And just have some connectivity with my teammates and figure out if we can have some connection on the offensive end and make it a little bit better.
You brought up connectivity. I know in practice earlier this week you said, the most connected team, aside from the physicality, will most likely have a good outcome. How did you feel you guys were connected today? Do you feel that was part of the issue?
Yeah, I think so. Also, got to take into account it's a lot of guys' first playoff game, so, emotions running high. Some of them might not quite know what's going on, just trying to be effective offensively and defensively. I think the game will slow down a little bit more for them next game, and I think we'll be better.
How do you feel CMB handled the emotions? I know Jamal and Jacoby was also their first game, but CMB, how do you think he handled the emotions today?
I think he did well. He's been pretty poised all year coming into his first year. And for his first playoff game, I think he was poised and he got defense and offensive rebounds. He was strong around the rim and he made good passes. So, we expect that from him.
Scotty, It's been a while since you've been in the playoffs. Did anything with that experience today bring back memories from your first time around, and how do you think you as a group or your team as a group handled, your first postseason experience?
I think we handled the environment, the crowd, what we was expecting. I think we handled that pretty well. The game, didn't go the way we wanted it to be, but they had a lot of guys scoring at a high rate. They got some transitions. Just got to do better guarding the ball, try to activate, and not allow so many easy buckets where guys were getting easy shots, going to the rim, getting some layups, some dunks. Get better at that, tighten some things up. Just cut their scoring down.
What made running on them so difficult in this one?
They was getting back. I feel like they was getting back, just trying to wait for us. Other than them top block and BI, but everyone else was just trying to stay compact, stopping us from running.
What did you make of Jamal's performance today?
Jamal did what he could out there. Just trying to guard the ball, stay in front of it, be physical as much as he can. Obviously, you got to watch out for fouls with those guys, but he did what he could. He was trying to be physical. They play a lot of ISOs, but they also play a lot of pick and rolls. So they got some good screeners out there as well. But these are two guys that score the ball at a very high level. So you just got to do your best out there.
How they defended you affect your game? Like they looked like they were kind of happy for you to be shooting early, and then obviously they got the size at the rim when you try and go into the paint. Did you have to make any adjustments?
Not really. A couple of those where I really wanted to go in. Then rammed out. But now I feel like every look that I got was a great look for me. So just got to live with those results at the end of the day.
But we can make a slow start coming out of the half. You guys were only down 7, and they had a really big run there in the third quarter to begin things. What do you think was the difference in that?
Just got to be prepared, have some urgency. Can't let them go on a run right away. They caused some turnovers, and they beat us at one of the things we do best, which was running. So we can't allow that to happen. And we know that, Donovan's good in transition. We know that they're going to go crowd the paint. We missed them shots too, but you just can't allow them to beat us at our game.
After when you look at that game, one thing that really jumps out is I think you get one fast break point. I look at the final box, but just they seem to really be able to control the pace and force it into more of a half-court game. Is that fair?
I mean, our biggest problem was our 18 turnovers. We did not do a good job of taking care of the ball. We had a lot of situations that we were just, careless with the ball. We got to do much better job of controlling that part. What did we do over here second half? They got 7 offensive rebounds, so they won that possession battle. That was something that we got to do much better job with that, and definitely transition. I thought we did a very poor job. We did not look for kick aheads. We did not look for opportunities to run. Several situations when they scored, we were just looking what happened instead of moving on to the next play. We got to do a much better job there.
And then their backcourt, big physical group. Is there any adjustments that jump out at you as to kind of maybe contain them and keep them out of your paint a little better?
Yeah, definitely. We gotta take a look at film. I have my own thoughts just based on a game, but I want to confirm all of that after watching film, see where we at, and what is the next step for us, what adjustments do we need to make, and how we can get better.
You had Scotty on Harden a bit in the fourth quarter there, but he started the game on Mobley. How much of that was to maybe try and avoid foul trouble, or is there something else that you liked about having Scotty on a big as opposed to one of the guards?
And Mobley ended the game with 17 points, 6 for 9, good rebounder, can pass the ball, play pick and roll. You can focus on Mitchell and James Harden, but this is deep team. It's Mobley is a handful, and Strus had a big game today. Next time some other guys they can step up and they have that type of effect on a team. As I said, they're a really deep team. We got to really pick how we want to match up and how we can maximize it. Scotty getting into two quick fouls early in the game really changed a little bit dynamics of rotations and what we planned. As I said, we'll watch film, we'll get better through it and get better.
What went into the decision to start Jamal in IQ's place?
Because IQ's not playing.
To start Jamal over some of the other options that you had.
So we needed, I really like Jamal's defense, what he brings on the court there. He keeps us organized. I thought that he did a really, really good job there in the first quarter.
Darko, with Brandon, he didn't have that many shot attempts in this game, and the Cavs had started top blocking him. Were you happy with how the team as a whole responded to the defense that was being played on him to get him some volume, maybe?
No, I'm not satisfied with that at all. We got to do a better job of executing, freeing him up, and playing to our standard of ball movement, and we got stagnant to that with that.
Do you think that was a result of the Cavs having a counter you guys weren't prepared for, or is that just not sticking to your principles?
No, I think we did not do a good enough job of running our stuff with pace. We did not do enough job to involve Brendan. Some of that is on me, but we as a group, we got to do a better job of not just Brendan. We got to do a better job of moving the ball, making quicker decisions. Pushing the ball in transition. We were way too much stagnant offensively tonight.
Darko, you're only down 7 at the half. What were you thinking at that point?
We were thinking of what we can do better, we improve, and how to win the game. We unfortunately had very bad start of that third quarter with turning the ball over. We did not do a good job of running with pace and force. Again, I think everything for us starts on defensive end, and we got to get back to that. If we allow our opponent to score 126 points, that's going to be really hard for us to beat them.
What do you think was behind that slow third quarter start?
Turnovers, lack of focus, lack of running, lack of energy there that we needed to start that quarter.
Darko, what were your impressions of Colin in his first playoff game? Where did you think he looked most comfortable?
Well, he was looking for how to get himself in a game. I thought that converting and finishing was good. They were when he was catching the ball, they were completely off of him. He's got to be more confident in those situations. What he needs to do, how he can connect, how he can stay aggressive there. Defensively, I thought that when he had some switching patterns there, that he did a solid job of staying in front of the ball. I think there were definitely situations that he can learn and get better from.
Would there be a scenario where you might consider using him a little bit earlier on to see how he can give him a different look?
Every scenario is on the table.
You had some lineups where you played Scotty, Mamu, CMB, BI with RJ, and then sometimes with Jacoby. Hadn't used those lineups very often. What were you hoping to get out of those combinations?
Again, trying to have multiple ball handlers there when Jamal is off the floor, trying to find the best matchups defensively, trying to adjust to, they had certain lineups. We hope that, our lineups there can give us more. We're just not going to be stagnant and not to just be always like conventional. We're going to try to adjust on the fly as well, and there are things there that I think we did really well that film is going to prove that. We just got to do it much more consistently.
Darko, you mentioned turnovers and the offense being a little stagnant. How much was that the absence of Quickly today?
I mean, we miss Quickly big time. He is doing a really good job of getting us organized. Doing his playmaker job of setting everybody up, but also his shooting is something that helps our team out tremendously. Plus, I gotta give credit Quickly. Like defensively, he made a huge jump. So he's the player that will feel comfortable throwing at any point guards or two guards in the league.
Darko, you talked about the lack of focus and the lack of energy in the third quarter and beyond. How do you explain that?
I did not talk about lack of energy, lack of focus. I talk about that we had lack of execution there. Yeah, yeah, but I really think that it was a couple of situations there that we needed to get in our offense faster, that we were a little bit slow. I really don't know how to explain that. It's those things happen. It's a long game. We had moments where we did a really good job. We had like a couple of minutes there that we did not do, and they did an outstanding job of making. I think it was 21-6 run in that stretch there, start of the third quarter. Something from us to learn, get better.
Is part of that just maybe dwelling on mistakes with the stakes raised, or hard to know what's behind it?
I mean, hard to know what's behind it. Every quarter was a little bit different. Lineups, every game is going to be different in this playoff series. I think it's very important, like, to learn throughout this process and to minimize the number of mistakes and like play to our strengths.